Okay, now you see we have our two pattern pieces cut out. And this is what they're going to look like. You're going to see that there's an inseam here. Okay, inseam here. There's going to be a waistline. I did it a little longer than 2 inches, but where it ends is the 2-inch mark, so I'm just going to add a 1/4 inch seam allowance at the bottom and hem them. And then the true line that you're going to sew is here onto the body. Okay, remember this is your seam allowance. So this is what your pattern pieces are going to end up looking like for shorts. Okay, now what I'm going to do is cut these out. I'm going to show you how to cut these out with fabric, and we're going to apply them to our doll. And I'll be right back. Okay, now I have traced my pattern, and I did it off of one pattern template. Now do not use these to cut on. This is proof that goes in your folder of your design. So I traced this, I flipped it over, and I traced it on the back side so that I know that when I put my pattern piece on, I have the front of her body that I'm going to sew on, and I have the back of her body that I'm going to sew on. And they're going to match up. And I used the same template, flipped it, and did the same thing for the left side. Okay, same thing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on this Sunday in the Park fabric, pin it, cut it out, and then I'm going to turn my edges under and sew it onto my doll, and we'll do that next. Okay, now here are my pattern pieces. I'm going to try to keep the camera steady, and this is the front part of for the front of the body, and you can see the one for the back and how I have them made. And this is the front and back. Okay. Now what I have here that you see is a makeshift hem for pressing. Basically it's wood, warm and natural underneath, and muslin on top. So what you're going to need is magic sizing and your patterns, and you're going to need a small craft iron, and like this one. Be very careful, they get very hot. I've had some experiences with that, and it was pretty tough. And I just, got careless. You get careless after so many years. You get confident. I didn't get confident anymore, let me tell you. So, anyway, I'm going to turn on my iron, and once it's when it gets hot, which isn't going to take long at all, then we're going to turn our edges under on our pattern, and when I get back I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, I know in my other videos I talk about high quality fabric, and here's what's great about high quality fabric. You can actually, I put a little bit of light magic sizing on there, light body, and I barely sprayed this, and I bent this and finger pressed it, and it's staying in place. And now I can take my iron and I can make that crease exact. Okay, so I'm going to take my iron, I can do this with my camera to show you, and I'm going to iron that waistline hem in place, and voila, there it is, crisp and clean. Now I'm going to do the other side, the back side, the same way. only I'm going to flip it over. Now all I have to do is spray with starch, line this up, okay, like that, finger press it, iron it, and it's done. And then on to the next step. The more preparation you make to your fabric pieces, the less work it's going to be to attach it to your doll, and it's going to look very nice. So now what I've done is I've turned down my waistline on both sides. I've turned down my hem on the ends of the shorts on both sides.